Here is my furry assistant. It's 6:45 in the morning, and I'm doing some photography for this Super 8 shit I'm doing. That's mean buggered as far as monetization goes. But anyway, I've got two problems, well, several problems. The first problem here is it's getting too hot for my dog, and it's getting too hot for me. The other one is Remjet removal, and that my first attempt at developing Kodachrome 64 wasn't the best. So I'm going to do a bit of science. This is my camera with Kodachrome 64, and I'm going to take a shot of this. I'm going to set the aperture and the other thing, shutter speed, to expose this at around about a 30th of a second at ISO 64, and then I'm going to use aperture to drop it to get just so to see the effect that maintaining a constant shutter speed has on the image quality, and also the ISO. I'm also going to do some stuff with the developing at home, just to try and do something different to see if I can actually make better photographs with this, because I really need to improve the method to get Super 8 to work. Okie dokie. So, in order to keep this brief and relevant, I'm going to discuss what I'm doing whilst my coffee's brewing. So, this morning I started at these settings, 250th second at f5.6 to expose at ISO 64. I then dropped the aperture, took another set of shots, dropping the aperture down to f4. It's ISO 32, 2.8, ISO 16, 1.8, ISO 8, and then I've dropped the shutter speed down to 1/25th of a second to give me ISO 4. That's given me a total of 5 photos, which I'm going to take out of this film as a test strip. The camera is a test strip, and develop in Caffenol. I've still got to decide what recipe I'm going to use and how long we'll develop it for. But this is just to repeat what I did before, but trying to control the exposure using aperture rather than using shutter speed. One of the reasons for this is that Kodachrome itself likes wide apertures. Expired film, in my experience, likes wide apertures. You keep that aperture as wide as possible, just because it's just a sensible thing to do. Whatever. I've not had coffee yet. And we're back to the photography meth lab. I really am not. With my swearing and stuff, I'm really not going to monetize any of this. Anyway, I've got sustenance in the form of iron brew. Delicious. I've got a strip of five exposed photos that I took in earlier in there. Got all my chemicals. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things. First, on the last batch I had problems with the Remjet layer. Remjet is a layer of fine carbon stuff, almost exclusively used in cinefilm, but I found that Kodachrome 64 does have Remjet on it. What's Remjet? Well, Remjet stands for remove by jet of water, apparently. I don't have water jets. What it is an anti-halation layer. It's got two functions. Sorry. The first is to prevent light reflecting off the base of the film and causing reflections and halos forming. The other is it helps prevent static build-up in cine film, and it has to be removed. I don't have a water jet, but I think it was Filmboy24, who I'll have a link in there, said the way he does it in Super 8 films is a pre-wash with a solution of soda. So you've got about 17 grams soda crystals in 500ml of water. I'm going to do it twice because this has got a volume of 480. I know that a volume of 250 will cover a 35mm film, but I want to get as much aeration in there as well. So I'll show you the process in a little. So I've got about 300ml of a solution of soda crystals in there, and I'm just going to vigorously shake it for about 30 seconds and then let it soak for a bit, and then vigorously shake it for about 30 seconds again and wash it out, and hopefully we'll see the Remjet coming off. So I'm over at the sink of doom, and that's the washing. It's yellow, can't see any Remjet coming off, but we'll give this a good wash and see what happens. Sorry, I'll probably get a copyright strike for that. No, it's coming out clear, which is not what I'd hoped for, so I'm going to do this again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up the Caffenol solution. I'm not, whilst aggressively shaking this stuff and letting it soak so that hopefully the sodium carbonate does its job. But I'll see you once I've made up the chemicals and done this and drank some more iron. So here we are, Caffenol prepared, and I'm ready to see if any Remjets come off. And looking in here, you can't see it here, there is possibly some Remjet, but let's see what happens. And the water is a little bit darker, and there does appear to be bits of stuff there. There's no guarantee, but fairly aggressive clean is required, and we'll see. No, I don't think anything's coming off. Okay, I tried. So here I am, almost ready to start. Just leaving that into soak until this is ready and stop foaming down. Caffenol has a tendency to foam, so one of the problems I had with the last batch was the foaming of the Caffenol. I'm going to leave this for another minute or so to calm down a bit, and I'm going to be less aggressive with the inversions. I'm only going to do 3 inversions every minute or so, and I'm going to develop for 20 minutes rather than 15 minutes. So here's the film. You can see, well, you can hopefully see, but I doubt it if you can, but there has been some successes. A lot more successful than the last time, and I did get rid of a good chunk of the Remjet, but I did have to also had to also remove some of the Remjet with my fingers, which is not ideal, but we're getting there. I'm actually quite chuffed with this, and I'm going to get on with the scanning now. This was shot at ISO 64, very grainy, not really a usable image. Likewise, the one shot here shot at ISO 32, the usable but better.
And here at ISO 16, still grainy, but we're actually getting a much better image, so I'm quite chuffed. Here we are at ISO 8, and it is a lot better than expected, and there is a step improvement on what we've had before. So ISO 4, there is a stepped improvement, and this is sort of the quality that I'm wanting for this project. I'm really chuffed with results. It's showing that I'm going in the right direction. Still work to do, but I'm definitely going in the right direction. Brilliant. So where I'm at with it. Taking photos, I'm happy with my methodology. I know where I'm going. Remjet removal, that part of the process needs a bit more work, but it's getting there. Developing, this was developed for 20 minutes, and that seems to do the job. I'm going to increase developing to 25 minutes next time. And the scanning, pretty happy with the results so far. Anyway, so where am I on my quest for super goodness? Pretty hectic. I think I'm doing well in the Kodachrome developing. Um, I've not developed a great film. I need that loan attack tank. I need scanning equipment, and for all that, I need corporate sponsors. But I'm getting more confident that when I do Super 8, I will be successful. So do the like and subscribe thing if you really want to. I might appreciate it.